A lot of people will say things to me like, whether it's in an interview or just a conversation or in a lecture, how did you get where you are? And my response is lots of little right actions. If you want to live in that life of flow, how do you be?
You got to stop looking for the outside circumstances to be the reason why you're positive. The things, the boyfriend, the money, the job, the career, cannot be your source of happiness. Those are the after effect of your happiness.
You are the director of your life. Open up your computer screen, blank sheet of paper, and rewrite the story. What would you write?
Gabrielle Bernstein, a role model for spiritual seekers.
If this is the first question. If this was the absolute last interview you were ever going to give ever again, last time you're ever heard on the air anywhere in any form, what would you say? Like, what do you need us to know?
Okay, if I had to honestly say at this point in my life, if this was the last interview and I had something to say, I'd have two answers. First thing I'd say is go and listen to Steve Jobs' Stanford commencement speech if you haven't. Because I listened to that speech for 9 months in a row every single day at one point in my life. And I knew every word off by heart. The words penetrated my heart. Even now when I listen to it, I get goosebumps. It's just, he summarized it. Like that, to me, is the best speech of all time. And so I would have to tell people to go and listen to that because it had such a big impact on my life. But I would, if I could only say one thing, I would say there's a beautiful statement in the Vedic texts, and it says that when you protect your purpose protects you. And so our life is not so much about living or creating or finding our purpose. It's actually about protecting it. It already exists. It's within you. You have it. And we have to protect it like a precious jewel. And when you protect it and then you live it and you unleash it, it will protect you through every other change and transition that comes in your life. So don't give up your purpose for a good idea, a person, a place, a project, a random thought. Keep allowing it to be uncovered, and I promise you it will protect you at the darkest of times.
And I was going to add, and I was going to say mine, which I think adds to that, is what I say at the end of my podcast is if no one's told you lately, I want to remind you that you are loved, you are worthy, and you matter. And I think when people remember that they are loved, when they remember they are worthy, when they remember they matter, they can pursue their purpose with 100% effort and confidence and alignment, and not fall back into some negative pattern of or move for a person and leave their purpose or whatever it is. They can find a both and in their life.
I stumbled upon this new research that came out of Harvard that says that if you spend less than a minute in the morning as a leader, just reflecting on how you're going to show up today, it changes your focus, your level of productivity, it changes how you show up, it changes the impact that you can make. And since I had just read it, for whatever reason in my mind, something clicked and I thought, well, why don't I actually apply that to myself? And so I asked myself this question that I'd never asked myself before, which is, who do I need to be for her? And I thought, you need to be more optimistic. You need to be kinder. You need to laugh a little bit more today. And as I raised my hand, I realized I was like making a promise and sealing it with this high five. And that's how it all began. And so back to your question about how you do it, it's very simple. I want you to do it right after you brush your teeth, and there's a couple reasons for this. Number one, when we stack a new habit, as you talk about too, it's easier for your brain to pair a new habit with an old one.
Right.
Second reason why is because this is a moment based on research before you leave your bathroom in this morning ritual that is one of your greatest chances to be able to focus at any point in the day.
Cool.
And so I want you to use it for yourself. And it's a way to put yourself first. The third reason why I want you to do it then is because it makes sense. You've just brushed all the crap out of your mouth so you don't spread nasty breath on everybody. Let's just brush all the crap out of your mind, body, and spirit, right? So you're not bringing that into your day.
Let's just take a quick break to talk about how I can help you more with manifesting. If you're enjoying this video and you want to take your manifestations to the absolute next level, click the link in the description below and get my 2 free manifesting meditations. These are my absolute best manifesting meditations. I'm literally giving them to you for free. Click the link in my description.
I take inventory every day. Like, there's rarely a day when my head hits the pillow at night when I don't think and be like, you know, did I blow this day? Come spend a day with me, Gab. It's wire to wire. It's wire to wire, man. And I carve out time, the way I model my day. Now, it's different than when I was starting a business and I had to work longer, but I always carved out time for myself, and I've always carved out time for my kids. And my wife. I have a rule, like a basic rule of parenting, and that is I'm never too tired for my kids, period. Like, I can't pour everything into my work, pour everything into a speech, pour everything into other, working out, and then my kids come and say, hey, Dad, you want to play checkers? I'm too tired. You want to have a baseball catch?
Wow.
Let's do it tomorrow. And my wife, same thing. Like, I'm never too tired for them.
And the thing I want to get into today with you, one of the things is the notion of what you resist persists. Because last night I kept going back to that, and I kept saying to myself, embrace this fear, embrace your irritation, embrace your worry that tomorrow's going to be a complete write-off. And as soon as I started doing that, which I don't do normally, he fell asleep immediately. My whole nervous system calmed down, and we got a bit of sleep. Like, still not enough, if I'm going to be totally honest with you, but I kind of rectified it without doing anything. I just kind of said, let this happen. Just let this all happen. Because when I get into fighter mode of, what can I do to stop this? And what's wrong? Why does he keep doing this? It's just awful and feels so much worse. So one of the big thoughts for me today is just go back to what you resist persists.
Good one.
If you want to attract more into your life, give more of what you want to receive. Be in the service of others in a way that is natural to you, in a way that you are able to.
A lot of people will say things to me like, whether it's in an interview or just a conversation or in a lecture, how did you get where you are? And my response is lots of little right actions, moment to moment right actions to release the blocks to the presence of love within me. If you want to live in that life of flow, if you want to attract that partner, if you want to make more money, if you want to just feel better, you have to stop worrying so much about how you look and what you say and start practicing how you be. How do you be? What do you bring forth? What do you show up with? What is the energy that you imprint onto your office mates? What's the energy you imprint when you come into a room of strangers? What is the energy that you imprint on a date? What is the energy that you imprint when you're walking on the streets of New York City? What is the energy that you bring forth?
You got to stop looking for the outside circumstances to be the reason why you're positive. You have to assume an energy that's joyful without having it all in front of you. The things, the boyfriend, the money, the job, the career, cannot be your source of happiness. Those are the after effects of your happiness. Everything starts to come into your life when you are in a better state, but you can't force it.
And I believe genuinely that that commitment and that discipline is what has really opened radical doors for me, has really helped me allow my dreams to become my reality and let the universe catch up with those desires. That is a reflection of what happens internally, not a reflection of what I'm doing out there. What I do out there is driven by what happens in here. And that's the case for all of us.
Think about it in this way. Are you looking at them and saying, oh, they have that, I can't? But what if you looked at that and said, oh, that couple that is so in love, but normally I'd be like, I hate them. Instead, I'm going to look at them and say, that's driftwood. That's a sign that that's coming to me. How different would your life be?
We all have the capacity to create that life that we really want to live.
You are the director of your life. You have the power to rewrite the script. You have the power to start over, start fresh, and rewrite the story. What would you write?
If you like this video and you want to get more Gabby, check out the next one right over here.